Pretty Dece, here we go. Facebook.com/Pretty Dece Show. It's time to geek out with Josh, your host.
What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Meek, the Uber Geek. Welcome to Pretty Dece, your daily entertainment and pop culture show. And it's time once again to talk about Detective Pikachu. Now, this is a movie that the trailer just dropped on Monday, and for a lot of people, it was their first inkling that this movie even existed, and I think people's minds were generally kind of blown about the idea, the concept, and really what they were seeing in this trailer. Like, the watching the internet was really great as this trailer came out. Now, obviously, if you are a fervent listener of Pretty Dece, you know that we have talked about the Detective Pikachu movie on several occasions. It's a movie that I have been anxiously awaiting finding out more about because it sounded so darn insane that they were going to make a live-action film based on a 3DS downloadable title where a talking Pikachu was a detective hanging out with a real-life boy. And lo and behold, that's what they made. That's what's in this trailer. And what's maybe even crazier is that it looks awesome. We talked about before, of course, the casting of Justice Smith as Tim Goodman, the main human character. He's searching for his father in this film. He originally wanted to be a Pokemon trainer. Now he's in Rhyme City working kind of a desk job. But he still loves Pokemon. He's got these Pokemon fight posters on the wall of his room, which looks really cool. And then, of course, he meets a Pikachu. And he can understand this Pikachu talking. So the world in this movie works just like the Pokemon that you are used to, where most Pokemon, when you encounter them, they vocalize, but it's just their name. So, Pikachu says Pika Pika, and, Squirtle says Squirtle. But for some reason, Tim can understand this particular Pikachu and the things that he is saying. And this Pikachu happens to be voiced by Ryan Reynolds. That is such an inspired casting of this Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds is hotter than he ever has been with the success of Deadpool. And the fact that they would cast him for this is really great. It's essentially like we have a little tiny furry yellow Deadpool, just a little bit more PG rated, I would imagine, than what Deadpool is. But the wisecracking, devil-may-care attitude that Ryan Reynolds brings to a project fits perfectly with this cute little Pikachu with his silly little detective cap on. I love everything about it, and it's as good as I had dreamed that it would be. So if you haven't seen this trailer, go check it out. I won't point out all of the fun little Easter eggs and everything that are in it, but it is a trailer if you are a fan of Pokemon that you will want to watch over and over again to see all the little Pokemon that pop up for like half a second in the background. I'm sure that there are breakdowns out there now where people are listing every single one and all the little references in the background, but it's really, really cool. And because this is a realistic world, this is a live action film, they've had to rework some of the Pokemon, make them look a bit more realistic than before. Pikachu's one of them. He's furry, like you have never really seen before, but it works. He looks like a real animal. It looks like what Pikachu would actually look like in the real world. Interestingly, RJ Palmer, who is a Pokemon fan artist, had worked on some realistic redesigns of Pokemon. He'd done some posters and just some general fan art back in 2013, and he was actually hired to consult on this film and work with them on these redesigns of Pokemon, which is actually pretty cool. He right now is he works at a video game studio, and he said that the production designer for this Detective Pikachu film literally Googled realistic Pokemon and found posts on a blog about RJ's work, and that's how he got the job. So really, really interesting. They actually were doing research about realistic Pokemon to see what people had come up with, and then literally went to the source of the person making this fan art and hired him to consult on this film. So pretty neat little side story there. Obviously this trailer's short. We don't have a lot to go on, but from the tone that they're setting out here, I am really, really excited. And the thing that really struck me watching this was it was really a mark of how much Pokemon has grown up kind of as a general media franchise, and how much it's grown up with us. And the people that are excited about Pokemon aren't just little kids anymore. They're people my age that grew up with Pokemon. And, you know, this franchise has been around for decades at this point. So it's very cool that it is this thing that can both produce the regular mainline Pokemon games that have a very wide appeal still. It can produce things like Pokemon Let's Go, which are aiming at very young children and people who were brought in from Pokemon Go. And then it can produce things like this, which are these kind of weird esoteric things that are humorous and aimed at the older fans that have been around for a long time. And that's cool that this franchise can do all of those things. I think that is a mark of a really mature property. You know, if you look at like Marvel, it can do the exact same thing. You have little kids who love pretending to be superheroes, and then you get into like the very heady, thoughtful comic books that are coming out that appeal to the adult fans. And that's something that I think it draws me to a particular franchise. So I think that's one of the things that I really like about where Pokemon is at right now. And it seems like a really smart thing for them to be doing. So super excited. Ryan Reynolds makes everything awesome. Justice Smith seems really great so far as Tim Goodman, as the main human lead, and I think their dynamic is very cool. And frankly, I cannot wait to see more of this film. So really pumped. Can't wait for trailer 2, and I can't wait for this movie to come out. That is Detective Pikachu. So that's going to do it for Pretty Dece for today. Thanks very much for joining me to, again, gush about Detective Pikachu. I'm so excited. If you want to support the show, you can do so. Visit prettydeceshow.com/listener support to find out those details. Of course, listen to the show. You can find it wherever you download your podcasts from, be it Google, be it Apple, be it Spotify, wherever you might want to find those. And of course, watch the video version. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find that at youtube.com/prettydece. Also, talk to me on social media. I like talking to you guys. You guys are better than the general world, which I don't like talking to, so that's fun. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, which is at Pretty Dece Show.